All right, in this video, we're going to talk about walking with God, obeying God, spirituality, and maturity. And this video was be on this channel, which is Real Life and Metaphysics, as well as my spiritual channel, because it's a spiritual situation. So it's on the spiritual channel as well as this one. Welcome. All right, now this is how we're going to do this. We're going to keep it 100 like I always do. Now, I will say this. When I first came out, it was a lot of so-called friends. And I'm just going to keep it 100. Some of the people actually went crazy. Like some of them have actually been admitted into crazy houses. And one person, man, that person was cool. But I was telling that person like they was real. They really was really smart, but they wouldn't do it. Like they would go to their job and work 60 hours a week at their job, but wouldn't do nothing spiritually. And I said, yo, you getting the angel card readings and stuff like that. It's telling you the spiritual career. At least start a YouTube channel. And they really wouldn't do it. And so next thing, their family was putting them in a crazy house. And I told them that. I said, you giving the devil all your time. I said, give that time to God, because God will bless you. So, they didn't listen. That's why I say I get a lot of people, they want to act like they're your friends, but you're not my friend if we don't believe wrong with God and obeying God. You just listening to me out here online and shit. So as I work, friends is like they say the word like friends and friends alike or whatever. So you gotta use common sense. And so that person was crazy. And then when they came back, they didn't really spoke to me and stuff. And then I had said a while ago, because I had certain people, it was like family. So I would be sharing emails with them. And then I just told everybody for the reasons such as some of the reasons I'm gonna discuss in this video, some I'm not. But I wasn't gonna do that no more. So then they basically I think they sent like a quick email like I love you or something. But they hadn't said nothing because I didn't even know they was back. I just knew they was in a crazy house or like wherever you put a crazy person. But it's been a lot, and it's just been a lot of females that tried to make something more than what it was, because these people are seeing their own reality. And then and so like when I see that, and I've been doing this a long time. See, I don't know what you believe. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not. This ain't no game for me. This ain't no internet chat buddies and everybody got an opinion and shit. Nah, God come first, and you move your life in harmony with what God said. You make some sacrifices, you get knocked down and get back up. That's what makes you spiritually mature. Otherwise, you faking it, no matter who you are, male or female. And that's, like I said, that's perfectly fine for you as long as people stay in their lane and don't bring that shit my way. Because you're dealing with a person that really goes through that. That's like me putting on an army outfit, ain't never been in the service, don't know shit about the service. But I'm gonna put on an army outfit and gonna walk up to some soldiers that been in warfare, been shot at, and all that, and think we gonna be cool. You're not gonna be cool. That's disrespectful from the back. Go through the ropes like we did. Y'all might not know about the military, but in the military they have some people that go to college or something, and they become an officer through the academic system. So then when they get on the military base and they see real soldiers, a lot of times soldiers don't want to even salute them. So sometimes the officer will see the soldier and he'll go the other way because he know they're not going to salute him. And you could get court-martialed. You could get a dishonorable discharge for not saluting an officer. But they just hate the idea that, dude, you ain't never come up like us. How dare you come up with a superiority over us? I've been on the military base. I seen that shit. So we not with that. And the majority of people talking shit, the majority of people talking about love, don't love, because soon as something happen, they going to fold. Which is how I'm going to get to this next person. So you got a lot of people that don't really talk to you too much no more and stuff like that. Even though you've been like I said, I've been out here working for everybody. And these people think you're supposed to stop everything you're doing and work only for them. So right away, I'm not going to have no respect for that person because that's selfish. That's why I stay single. Because in fact, at the end of the day, I could give a fuck less that your nail broke. I could care less. It's people dying all over the fucking world. You're talking about a fucking nail broke. People won't pick up the Bible to study it. They'll pick it up to look like they doing something. I finally found out. I see this person pick up the Bible every day and read their daily devotional. But then once that Bible closed and stuff, that person raised hell, lie, always very narcissistic, all kind of crazy. And I said to myself, why are they so devoted to that Bible? Because they're not applying it. And then I realized because that's what their mother made them do. This person's very loyal to their mother, even though their mother's been dead for a long time, and they was very loyal to their husband's mother, their mother-in-law, very loyal. So they're doing stuff out of a routine of loyalty, but they're not doing it out the right reason. If you're going to pick that Bible up, pick it up to learn it and apply it. That's spiritual maturity. Any other reason for picking that Bible up, rather to look good, maybe to feel good, maybe to read it real quick and put it back down and say, hey, I did my duty. Just like I said, a person read it every day, but they never talk about it. They've never had a conversation with me about this. I know this person well over 40 years. They've never had a conversation. Now, you're going to pick the Bible up every day and you don't talk about it? So that's this is just the strangeness of people is what I'm trying to tell you. That's some duty to their moms. I finally figured that out. It's duty, an obligation. But it's not like a necessity. Lord, what's your word? What is your word? And then you got clowns out here that ain't never studied the Bible, but they think they can disprove it. How can you disprove something you never personally studied? Oh, I watched the video on YouTube and blah, blah, blah. So then those type of people are weak because they just using that as an excuse not to obey it. So how are we going to be cool when I'm watching you lie constantly, watching you betray everything you promote on your videos, and you think, no, we're not going to be cool because I'm going to check your ass. And then that ether going to start hitting you, that truth is going to start burning you like, and then you're going to get mad. That's why one minute you mad, one minute you confused, one minute you act like, okay, you right, Gat, you right. Next minute you come back again, yo, I don't appreciate you said that. You understand? That's just silly. So I had one dude out here. Difference was we was both in the prophecy. But it is what it is. You don't always see things the same way. But man was cool. But he just realized he went his own way though. Like what he did it like a man. Instead of going back and forth, he just went his own way. But me and him is still cool. You know, but the reason why me and him is still cool because he went his own way. Because you can't be with somebody every single day anyway, because y'all get on each other's nerves. And then, like I said, with my brother Donnell Whitmore Jr., I'm very impressed with him. Very impressed with him. Because he was going through a whole lot of stuff at first. And then I just started saying, who you going to listen to? You going to listen to the scriptures? Are you going to listen to yourself? Or who you going to listen to somebody else? And he thought about it, prayed about it. He decided to listen to the scriptures, and he went forward. He went forward. So he doing his own thing. But that's what a man do. Because at the end of the day, I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying listen to me. You got to come to your own conclusion. But what I'm saying is don't stand in my way. Especially if you come in with some weak and bagely shit. Because as a man, I can't respect that. See, I got a whole lot of stuff I worked on. And got a whole lot of stuff I got to work on now. But I'm accepting it as a man and working on it. That's more important than having some girlfriend or some silly stuff. Because that shit usually don't work out anyway. Just check the statistics. So what most people don't understand is you're not going to understand nothing about the God if you don't have no spirit. That's why a lot of people got church. They got a lot of routine, but they ain't got no spirit. That's why I say if you call yourself a Christian woman and somebody come through your house and you watching shows, let's just say you in your 70s, and you watching shows with 20-year-old kids running around in bikinis and all that, all about sex and stuff. Or every show you put on it got drama like Divorce TV, Who the Baby Daddy and shit. The scriptures tell you to leave stuff like that alone. because that's what's in your mind. And that's why I'm telling you, people have spirits. And that's why you have somebody stalking you or following you, and you keep telling that person to go. It's just like the people at the temple. Why are you following Jesus if you demonize? But if you read your Bible, Jesus would be at the temple and the demons would be up in there. Why would you follow Jesus if you're a demon knowing that he's going to judge you and execute him? And that's why he said, Jesus, I know who you are, Son of God. Did you come to destroy? It's not time for me to go into the abyss. Bugging out and shit. You would think they'd be running the other way, but they don't. And then there's another scripture that says that he's talking to the church. The devil walks around seeking to devalue. So the devil right up there with you. And for a guy like me that's been there, I can tell you a lot of stories that happen in church or in the church. And you probably wouldn't even believe that's what it is. For a fact, one is public knowledge. So it's not like, check out the church where the pastor told his people to get off Facebook. That church is right up the street from where I live. He told his people to get off Facebook because if you stay on Facebook, you're going to start having a fornication and committing adultery, connecting with old friends and going back to sin. So either you get off Facebook, I'm going to kick you out of my church. And then they found out him and his wife was having a menage a trois with his wife's personal secretary and their boyfriend. So they got into some freaky stuff, and some of that stuff they did was right in the church. So, and they still didn't put him out. He left for a little bit and then came back, and he's still a presiding minister. You got somebody like Brother Stair molesting children and stuff. He's still a pastor at his church. They never made him step down. You got all these other so-called popes and bishops and stuff getting caught, or bishops, whatever they are, getting caught with little children and stuff. And they get a slap on the wrist. Now, in more recent times, because we get ready to go into a different age, so now they're not able to get away with it. But when we was in a Pisces age, that's all about deception. So they lying to you, they getting rich off you, and they doing whatever they want. But they acting like I said, they fake, phony frauds. That's why once I see that, I stay away from people like that. No, we can't be cool. So that's more important than anything else. One thing about knowledge, you can accept it or don't. You can reject it if you want to. You can go to any channel you want to. That's your right. At the end, all of us are going to meet some type of judgment. That's why even if you're talking about astrology or love and light, then you got to know about karma. So even if you don't believe the Bible, you're still going into judgment because karma is going to be some form of judgment because you did this in this life. Now you're going to do this in that life. Because you didn't learn this lesson in this life, you're going to do it again in that life. And you see that on the natal charts. So that stuff's real. So that's why if you really taking this information, you thinking and watching how you conduct yourself. So to know so many people have gone crazy or so many people have gotten caught with other stuff, or how many phonies came my way and I was like, nah. And now I'm looking and saying, yeah, I knew what I was doing. So then one person who's going through some shit, he said, Gad ain't nobody attacking you. He said, I know you be saying you attacked or whatever you say, man. Well, you should know what I be saying because you've been listening to me for over 3 years. Like you've been a groupie for like over 3 years. And I've been telling you to leave for at least a year, maybe a year and a half. I could just see we not the same cloth. You a wannabe. That's just a fact. You like a groupie. And you want to fake, you want to cheat, you want to do all this shit, but you want to shine in the light like you an enlightened person when you're not. So that's the first thing I'm saying. Like if you a thief, right? And you want to do something with somebody, and somebody say, "Look, man, I'm gonna be real with you. I want to bring you through, but You're a habitual thief. So then you get mad at the person. Now you try to find something on a person, or you try to say something to hurt the person's feelings. Then you don't get it. You ain't repent. When you repent, you be like, yeah, I did that. You man up. See, that's the difference. I man up and just deal with it. I don't get mad because somebody say, yo, God, I heard this. All right, well, either it's true or it's not true. If it's true, I'm working on it. And if it's not true, why would I waste my time talking to you? That's just stupid. But it's not a reason to get all upset and all heated. So when you see somebody getting upset and heated again, it's too much feminine there. It's too much feminine. It's not somebody standing up like a man. And they have a history of hurting people, especially females. Telling them one thing and then doing something else, even cheating on them. It don't stop. So if I see that shit, of course I'm going to say, yo, bro, what's up? Now you mad because you think somebody busting your bubble. Nobody busting your bubble. They just making sure where's your head at? Is you going to hurt this female like you did? You already talking to two females at the same time again. Here go that serial womanizer. So what's up? And see, I feel that shit. That's what cats don't understand. I feel them because a lot of them females have contacted me. So I can feel their pain. And I'm looking at this nigga just doing weird ass shit at the end of the day. Weird ass shit. And man, this dude has had many talks over the years. So that when his heart get involved, so now he betraying everything he know, and then it's like you want to argue with your father because your father trying to tell you something. Now you don't want to listen. Now you trying to find dirt on him or some reason, like you did with the Bible. Oh, I don't have to believe the Bible. I do what I'm my own God. So every time responsibility comes, you gonna find a reason not to do it. So that's like a bitch move. So like I said, that ether be burning because it hit their conscience. And when it hit their conscience, they mad. And like a real nigga's not backing down. Y'all don't know how many times I got like hit or knocked out and got right back up and kept doing what I was doing. That shit don't scare me. Back in the days when there was CB radios, if y'all even know what that is. I'd be on a CB and they hated me. Because I was young and just talking wild. So they would have like a meeting for the CBers, and I would go down there in Asbury Park, New Jersey, down by the train track. Used to be right up in there. And I'd be with the people and they hated me. Like these was grown adults, which I still can't see how you a grown adult and you get that mad over a little ass kid. They hated me. And they used to come by the house and be threatening me. Like I'd be on the CB and they'd be like, I'm in front of your house right now. I could get you right now. I still kept talking this shit. And so then this white dude wanted to be black. So he thought he was going to get some points. So he actually came to the crib and he was like, get in. And I got in his car and this nigga kidnapped me and shit. This white boy took me to the people that hated me and shit. And they was like, we could fuck you up right now and shit. And I was just sitting there. They're like, we could fuck you up right now and shit. You better stop cutting up. We going to get you and shit. So then they took me back. And as soon as I got inside, I went right back on the CB and shit and kept doing what I was doing. So that shit's not, I'm not intimidated by that shit. This shit funny to me. Because all you got to do is leave if you want to. You on my channel. I'm not on your channel. You sending me emails. I'm just responding to your shit at this point. So then he says, oh yeah, you always saying you getting attacked or whatever. Yeah, that's in the Bible. See, if you really walking with God, you're going to get some type of attack. That's already been proven. I've proven that so many times that ain't funny. You always going to have somebody lying on you, might be supernatural. Whatever it is, you in a world that they ain't trying to hear nobody talking about no form of righteousness. So you will get attacked. That's common sense. In one form or another. If you listen to Bagley, if you listen to Paul Bagley, he's always talking about something going wrong with the equipment, or it sounds like he getting booted off or something. Or if he say a certain word, he get booted off and stuff. So that's an attack. Rather who's doing it, it's an attack. If you listen to Nonania, that's all she talks about when she talks about her TI shit. She talk about all kind of supernatural stuff going on and stuff that she has no. Yeah, so if you're out here, if you're really doing something, that's how you know. If you're not getting attacked, that's only proving my point that your shit is fake. So you're not even worth their time. You damn right you're gonna get attacked if you're doing the right thing. They're gonna have to shut your ass down, especially if you're teaching other people. So then he was trying to say something about reality. He was trying to say some more stupid shit. Like he was going white supremacy, white supremacy. I'm not with that. I'm not in that reality and junk like that. Well, let me tell you something. Be driving somewhere and let them stop your black ass. They're gonna bring your ass in reality one way or another, nigga. Like it was this dude. He said he was a comedian. He was like a Spanish or Puerto Rican comedian. He said I never used to say I was black. He said, but the New York PD straightened that right out for me. He said the New York PD helped me understand what I was. So you could say what you could feel. You in a safe zone, and if the zone works for you, you'll use it. But if it don't work for you, then you discredit it and don't use it. Or if somebody like me is telling you the truth, then you got to find fault with me. Either my reality is not the way it's supposed to be, or I'm talking about getting attacked and nobody. So I must be crazy. But you've been listening to me and you've been on my job for three and a half years. Like you've been a groupie, but now all of a sudden, so that's just stupid. So again, that's silly shit, and that's why somebody don't want to talk to you, respond to you, or nothing, because they're looking at you like this dude's an idiot. So no, that is reality. Also, if you have a history of telling women I'm gonna be with you, blah blah, telling females I'm gonna be with you, and blah blah blah, and you either cheat on them or leave them, history, not just one or two girls. I understand this is a history, like a serial heartbreaker and shit. Then that's a reality. If you have a reputation for running when the going get tough, that's a reality. So what reality are you talking about? It just seems more like to me that you're in, because I prove everything I say. I'm always with references and proof. So what are you talking about? So with spirituality, you're either gonna grow or you're not, and you can fake it like everybody else doing, but you're gonna pay for that. God does not want to be mocked. Whatever man is sowing, he's gonna reap. Just like you can't just lay up with some female, be having sex with her, and then just get up and go to somebody else. Because the way God see it, the moment you lay down with that female, she became your wife. Now you may not see it that way, and the world may not see it that way, but God see it that way. At the end, everything's gonna be based on what God said. Not what you think, not what somebody else say. It's gonna be based on you could discredit the Bible. You could say ain't no God. Religion was made by man to control you, and you're free. You're your own religion. That all sound good until the end, when it's time to pay that piper. And I've been teaching people for years. Sometimes you need to just study these people. Like they say, oh, look at all these so-called black people. Why are they Christians? That's the same. That's the same Bible they used to enslave you. That's the same Bible they used to really persecute your ancestors. Why are you really using that Bible? First off, if you really believe in God, God is in control at all times. A lot of times, guys, people have gone through hell. In fact, when you study the Bible, you can always tell somebody God loves because they're always going through something. That's a fact. If you study, but if you don't study the Bible, then you don't know what I'm talking about, because you're associating attacks or hardship with, oh, that ain't right. That ain't my reality. Well, that's like saying, oh, I'm not taking that walk. Again, this is a person that got no heart, because he was talking about dreams and shit. One thing, if you want to be in this third dimensional, all them people that became big stars, they followed their dreams, right? But what was the cost? Making a soul contract, selling the soul to the devil, and killing, having like relatives and shit or friends killed. So sometimes you can't follow your dreams. Or if you are going to follow your dreams, you better make sure you're doing it somewhere where you're not going to be selling your soul to the devil. You got to understand where you at. And shit may sound sweet. And you may say shit to some dumb broad that don't know what the heck she talking about either. She'll believe that shit. But niggas that really out here and really doing that, you looking like a fool. Like you sounding like a con man. And you should know not to try that shit with me. You know me long enough. That's how I know this nigga crazy. Like, of all people, you should know don't come to me with that. But I'm not no dumb bitch. You're not going to lie to me, fuck me, and then leave me. Breaking my heart. I'm not that nigga. I'm going to tell you, nigga, the shit you saying is bullshit. And why am I even wasting my time responding to your silly ass? So plus, first he was like, you right. He was like, you right. And some other shit. And then that's when I said, make sure you understand what I'm saying. I'm saying slow down for these reasons. And I gave him the reasons. I didn't sugarcoat nothing. I was like, slow down for these reasons. So then we was cool. Then I guess he heard the video or something and he got pissed off again. Then he came at me, trying to be more harder. Talking about Tupac and reality and dreams and all the shit he talked about. Everything I already discussed in this video. So I thought about that shit. So because I sleep real good. Like, don't nothing really bother me. But sometimes this nigga, I be waking up out of my sleep thinking about this nigga. And see, a lot of stuff I'm telling y'all can't understand. But me, him, and his real twin, his twin flame, they get together, break up, get together, break up. The real one, the real twin flame, we all connected. And the connection is deeper than anything else. That's one of the reasons why he got a problem just moving on. So, with spiritual maturity, you follow God. Now, me in following God, I learned a lot more, but it was step by step. First, it come with loyalty. Then, as it come with loyalty, God will let you know more stuff. Then you could take things to God. Like when you got time and experience serving God and not folding. Or if he discipline you, let you go through something, you get back up, dust yourself off, and show him, I'm not giving up, no matter what. See, now you got loyalty. So he's going to let you know a lot of shit. That's it. But it's like shit, it's self-evident. It's self-evident. So I don't have to point it out, because if you point out, people think you're saying, oh, look at me, I didn't know. I'm trying to make a point. It's self-evident. And that's why I said, here's the real thing. Even when I be doing my readings, you be seeing like the high priestess come, or they telling you the high priestess is keeping you in solitude. That's what she do, because she's working on you. But all this is the divine feminine. It's different names, but at the end of the day, it's all spirit. It's divine feminine, divine masculine. So if you see it over and over again, this is what I'm saying. People see, if 1 minute you saying, oh, that guy really knows his stuff, he's really on point, boom, 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 boom. But then the next minute, because either he done corrected you and you don't want to be corrected or whatever, now you're trying to say, oh, I don't know. That's just silly. That means all them other times you was listening, that shit was fake. That's what I mean about all these fake, phony frauds. If I had $1 for every broad trying to talk about they serious and you my soulmate and all this bullshit, I'd be rich. That's why I don't be playing into that shit. That shit gotta be some realness behind it. I'm not in my 20s. I'm not in my 30s. I don't give a fuck about that shit no more. If that's all you got to offer is some sex, nigga, I ain't got no respect for you. I could get a fucking prostitute. The fuck I want to mess my life up and my money messing around with some bimbo. And that's your choice, because that's what you choose. Because you could choose to think. You could choose to be the type of woman that a real man will want. But all you want to do is be sexy and be like a bimbo. So that's the choice you made. And that's the type of nigga you usually gonna get. Somebody really doing shit ain't gonna be looking at you, because you already know it's gonna be a problem. That's called learning through experience. So if you did something for 40 or more years, ain't never worked, Never work. Never work. For a year or so, you do it God's way. You actually really follow spirit, and your whole life is way better. Way better. Like unbelievably better. You had to be a fool to go back. Because that's all the devil's world going to try to do is trap you up in some bullshit. Trap you up in a relationship ain't working. And that's why I said, this dude, he loved it in the beginning. Because in the beginning, it's always going to be good. Because she's going out her way to make you happy. And y'all on the phone talking stupid to each other and all that. He loved that part. But when that real shit come, when you see other people's, everybody got good points, bad points. Then he fold. And I just hope he rolled out of it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm burning his ass with ether. Because I want to make sure he ain't going to run off of this female. And I'm going to make sure he don't do her dirty. Because he has a habit of doing it. And that shit he talking to me, we never been on the same level, nigga. And you look good in some areas. But when them areas got tested, you folded. So now I can't even respect you in that. Like you like really a peon nigga and shit. And plus, niggas that are aware of what's going on, they are like, Gat do got a point. Gat did tell him to move on. Why didn't he move on? He's still sending emails. So even people that can't understand what this is all about, even they gonna say, yeah, he should move on. If a nigga telling you, look, this ain't working, move on, and you still sending emails, move on, nigga. And again, people can say what they want. I got prayers for everything. I'm gonna tell you, I give all glory to God. Y'all don't know how many times I've been lied on. People try to make me out to be something that I'm not. That's why I hate this world. That's why I work so hard to just expose the devil for the lie that he is. And to wake up whoever's willing to listen. Just like I just did a natal chart recently. And there was some indication that there might be some issues with the kid. So that's one thing I told that person. Make sure you treat your child right. Because if you don't want no bad karma, definitely don't treat your child wrong. So I do stuff like that. Because the only reason why you treat your own kid wrong is because the devil put that in you. Who in their right mind would just not even want to be with their own kid, their own child? That don't even sound. But that's this third dimension. This is what it is. And I came up through shit like that. Who was the most racist people you ever met in your life? My family. Who did some of the most dirtiest shit to you in your life? My family. I mean, I got, because my township I'm in, they got racist. This township always been racist. So I know about racism. So that's why I'm out here. And that's what I do. And I'm not with the BS. So when you talk about spiritual maturity, you're going to do what God says. You're going to learn how to walk with God, and you're going to realize that God is real. And once you realize God is real, just like if you was a little kid, like back in the old days, if you was a little kid, let's say you wasn't really in your neighborhood, and you thought you could get away with something, but somebody could still look at you and know who you was. I'm going to tell your mother. So by the time you got home, your mother was already upside your head and shit, and you thought you was going to get away with it. So when you walk with God, you already know that. And you already know all this. If you've been on this planet long enough, you already know what could happen. And you try to stay prayed up. And you look on yourself, oh, we all got shit to work on. So you keep praying to God. Help me with that. But you confess it. You don't get mad because somebody says something. So that's not spirit, that's real, that's like real. It's not spiritual. And everybody can progress and learn. But the point I'm trying to make is, it's not my job. Like, man up. And I've been said that. Like a long time I told, man up. Because for some reason you keep hanging around. Man up. I understand it. But just man up. And you be good. Because the potential is there. But for some reason you got this weakness. Like, really like I don't know. Like you talking about me. But I'm saying, like, with me, I can prove. If you really serve God, even my brother-in-law used to talk shit. Yo, Gary, because my brother's from down south. Yo, Gary, it seems like you say this and you say that, but you need to add the common denominator. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. I don't get mad. I could have got mad. I could have been like, yo, what are you talking about? If you only knew what I've been through, I could have flipped the fuck out on that nigga. Like, what do you mean common denominator? Like, it's my fault. I just sat there because I thought it was cute. I said, let me ask you a couple of questions. And since you want to bring this up, I mean, I think it's only fair you let me ask some questions. He's like, all right, ask some questions. Did you ever go somewhere and this happened to you? No, I ain't never heard nothing like that. Did this ever happen to you? No, I ain't never heard nothing like that. Did you ever like that? Yeah. I said, well, let me ask you this. How come I always got paperwork? That proves my point. If I'm the common denominator and everything that's happening is because of my attitude or something like that, then how come ain't nobody got no paperwork on me saying I did this, I said that? And like decades of false accusations. How come ain't nobody got no paperwork on me? That he did this or did that? Then he shut up. And then when he went through his shit, that's the first thing that nigga said. Yeah, you right, Gary. I'm sorry, Gary, because you right. You know, we were saying about you, we didn't understand you. You was right. So if you're gonna walk the walk, walk the walk. If you ain't gonna walk the walk, don't fuck with somebody like me. You looking at a real ass Negro. That's it. Not bragging, not boasting. I'm not looking for no followers. Not trying to be nobody's guru. I'm a real ass Negro. I came up with real gangsters. And a real gangster don't need a gang. That's what makes him a gangster. Like the definitions y'all got, we don't got. A lot of dudes y'all calling thugs and shit, them niggas was hoodlums. They wasn't no thugs. Thugs was a classy word. And a gangster was like the top of the line because a gangster don't need no gang. You might see him with a gang, but a gangster will run up on you by himself. He don't need no gang. Nigga that raised me was Rock. That's one of the niggas that raised me. Rock used to run up on niggas and they all stand down. I seen Rock throw a nigga up against the wall. First he said to this nigga, run. He said, what you do? Dude said, I rob houses. He said, you rob houses on this? He said the name of the street. He said, you rob houses on the street? That nigga said, yeah. He said, you must have been a nigga that robbed my mother. He threw that nigga up against that wall, patted that nigga down, and took his knife and shit. But let me tell you the real shit. So the nigga wasn't no bitch though, because he came up to Rock, but he just asked for the knife back. And Rock gave him the knife back. See, that's real shit. That's humble shit. So the dude knew he couldn't beat Rock, but he was trying to say, I ain't scared of you, but I ain't just gonna let you take my shit. And he got his shit back. See, that's the shit I grew up on. That's real shit. That's honor. Y'all niggas can't understand it, because you ain't been there, don't know. That's real shit. Not no punk shit. Not no fake shit. Not becoming an internet tough guy when you ain't got the heart for this shit. That's real shit. Like the same nigga, when I would be on television, the same nigga you heard on TV is going to be the same nigga you see when you see me out there. And I be out there, nobody protecting me, none of that shit. God, of course, God protected me. But niggas just look at you, but don't fuck with you. That's respect. Because I be in the same spot where niggas from my same township was getting the shit beat out of them. And I just be standing there. Ain't nobody put a hand on me. So that's what I'm about. The real shit. None of this fake shit. And it is going to make a difference when you get to the end. When you talk about karma or whatever it's going to be. If you want some fake shit, easy shit, you going to get it. And that's why in this third dimensional world, that's all they selling you is bullshit. Because they know what's going to happen. And they want you to stay on this matrix. That's why I dropped some recent videos about lunar reincarnation or whatever. Moon reincarnation. This whole system is set up from the news to everything else to keep you in a certain vibration. Even if you say I'm going to go to church, that shit is some low shit. Depending on which church you go to. That's some low frequency bullshit. That's set up. But there is spirituality. There is a God. And that Bible, for those of us who read it and studied it, is a very powerful book. And the moment you understand the spiritual aspect, when you connect with the spirit, then you understand the power of the Bible. That's why I had a spiritual channel that don't nobody come on. Just very few. Because don't nobody give a fuck what God got to say. Or they figure they can go somewhere and get it. And I don't even care. I just do my job. I would still be out there if only one person was listening. I'm not worrying about what people think. I'm going to do my job, put my trust in God. I'm not getting caught up on this dumb shit. And videos like this is to just keep it 100 so that niggas can't come back and say some other shit because this nigga has a problem. He's got a problem with telling the truth and he's got a problem with reality. And when you meet somebody and they talk about dreams, you got to be careful. Because if you're going to talk about Tupac and dreams, well, then let's talk about the reality. The reality is this: Tupac had to leave because this shit got hot. So whatever Nevada was about, whether he faked his death or died, either way, reality got Pac's ass out of here. And also, if you really want to talk about taking an oath, quite honestly, if you just watch some of the pictures, Pac got the Masonic signs up and shit. That stuff people don't want to hear. And people get emotional when you talk about Pac. But also, if you talk about that gangster shit, Pac was the king of dry snitching. For real niggas in the street, he even got Stretch fucked up. Stretch got fucked up fucking with Pac. But niggas don't talk about that. But Stretch was like a real street nigga. Pac went to school and shit. He went to school with Jada Pickett and shit like that. And if you really want to talk about agents, all that whole connection about agents. They're like, if it's a revolutionary organization and they ain't never killed nobody, then they're not really a revolutionary organization. I told you what a real revolutionary organization is. This is the niggas they burnt the house down in Philly. Them niggas was real revolutionaries. They killed them niggas in their sleep. If you a real revolutionary, they coming to kill your ass. Because they figure that either it's going to be you or them. So they going to get you early. If you a real revolutionary group, you best believe. The other revolutionary group, they bombarded that building while them people was sleeping. And they shot everybody up in there, including the kids and everything. They came through and that's real revolutionary. They going to kill your ass. It ain't going to be on no TV, all that Farrakhan shit. You ain't going to be on TV talking reckless and talking crazy. But people don't want to hear that. So they get mad at the nigga telling the truth. That's how crazy this world is. That's why I don't fuck with it. Because it's just silly. Silly ass people. Silly ass people are going to believe what they want to believe. And that's cool. As long as they don't come my way with it. Because I don't really got time to hear it. So RFG Chosen One tried to tell you. Snoop's father's like an agent. Most of these people you look up as some type of legends, they all connected. It's just, if you read the book 1984, that's how you manipulate the population. You give them heroes, but the heroes really down with the movement. And that's why another dude tried to tell y'all, Bro Sanchez, he was showing you pictures of Farrakhan taking pictures with white people and taking pictures with Jews and stuff. He said these people are telling you that the Jew is wicked, but then he got all these pictures with him. But if you don't wake up, you ain't gonna see. Or you used to hearing what the media tell you. You're not because you lazy. You're not gonna study. So then guys like me realize they not gonna wake up. Fuck it. Why waste my time talking about it? So what he was saying has some truth, but at the end it's fake. And you can't call out Tupac because you have to understand who and what Tupac really was. And whatever, reality did get his ass up out of there. So you can't keep talking about fun. If your dream is going to make you take an oath with the devil, then maybe you need a new dream. You understand? Maybe you need a new dream. Like if I say I can rap, I can flow. So now I'm really good. Like Lecrae. Lecrae started out one way, and now that nigga don't even want to have nothing to do with gospel music. But when he came up, he used that platform. Like all these people using Jesus to get rich. And then he get to a higher standard, and now he don't even want to be associated with that. So whatever happened to him, his dreams caused him to change his reality. And if you doing videos with pyramids all up in your videos and all that stuff, so are you a Freemason? Are you a Christian? What are you? And the fact that these niggas can't even tell you who they really are, that should tell you something right there. I can tell you everything about myself. The moment you get all these secrets and stuff, they can't even tell you who they are. So that's a flimsy nigga. And you have to be careful. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. So that nigga talking that crazy shit he talking, who got a history of betraying people and shit, you don't want no nigga like that around you. That nigga might offer your ass up for sacrifice and shit. Y'all think I'm joking. Y'all just study, nigga. Like all these niggas are offer somebody somewhere. Like Aaliyah was a sacrifice. That was some weird ass shit. How the hell a plane, all that shit, 11 people and shit, the dates and all that. And if you understand, they killed Aaliyah right before the towers came down. That shit was planned. You got to know what her name means. All that shit. You got to study what the name Aaliyah means. And that shit going on to this day. Like Mike Jordan. How is his father going to be killed on July 23rd when that's a big ass day? That's a big Illuminati day. For the Sirius constellation, everything. Haile Selassie on that date. And he just happened to die on that day. And then when you check out the evidence of the murder or whatever. It don't even add up what they telling you. Just like some people say Pac left in the ambulance. Some people say no, Pac left in the helicopter. So which one is it? Which one did he leave in? But I remember when it first happened in the 90s, they did say helicopter. They said they took him up out of hell. Now they say no, they took him out. So which one was it? Some people say he was talking in the hospital room. Some people say he never spoke in the hospital room. The officer claims that Pac, he was questioning Pac, and he said Pac couldn't breathe or whatever. And he said like Pac just said basically forced himself to speak and said fuck you and shit. But everybody else said he ain't talking, and his brother said he was fighting, trying to talk, but he couldn't talk. So some people say he couldn't talk, other niggas say he did talk. Which one is it, nigga? So that's a fucked up reality. So let me tell you about reality. Since we questioning that. Reality is this. If you serving a true God, you're going to make sacrifices, you're going to go through some shit. There will be some type of attack, but the attacks can vary. That don't make you crazy. Like my brother said, the common denominator is I serve God, and people here don't like that. I woke a lot of people up, bro. I've been doing this a long time. From being a foot soldier out there in all the areas, going through Asbury Park, homo throwing a football at me and shit. Oh, you be on the beach or on the boardwalk, homos looking at you, trying to fuck with you. Because they associate you with anti-homo. But we ain't even do nothing like that. Like back then, we was just Jehovah's Witnesses. That's what I started out with, as far as preaching. Well, my mother's side has always been Baptist. My father's side was Jehovah's Witnesses. And then I wasn't with that after the 90s. But always been out in every neighborhood, walking around, preaching. So a foot soldier. So the reality is this. Realize you in a wicked ass world. And realize people lie. So you have to be very careful. See, some of the times he left, I understand why he left some of them females. Because there was a lot of shit going on. But the bottom line is you became a serial. At some point you got to realize, okay, she's not going to be everything I want her to be. Am I still going to stay? That's how you start to pick a female if you're a male. You have to, I tell you how I was taught, and it's the right way. You got to like get to know her even from a distance. Because you got to ask yourself, can I stay with this chick when I see her negative side? Or can I stay with this chick if her in-laws are going to be a pain in the ass? That's what you got to say. You can't just look at a female and go, hey, she's somebody I would like to get to know, and maybe if that work out, then we can go further. Because it may not work out. It probably ain't gonna work out because ain't nobody perfect, and you live in an imperfect world. So you already should be ready for that. You should already. Is this the type of person I would stay with if shit don't go my way? That's how you pick a female up. If you're talking real shit, I'm not talking about this dumb shit, having sex and all that, because that's why he said ain't no fornicator or no adulterer going to inherit the kingdom of God. So either God's lying or he's telling the truth. And I pretty much think he's telling the truth because too many people have died being faithful to him. So how could he disrespect those people by letting people in that wasn't faithful? And when you understand what happened at the cross, these people were saved from condemnation. But you pray for two kingdoms. The only people that's going back to source or going above are those who were obedient. Everybody else got to go through what's called the purge, and they stay below. Now, how it's all worked out? Now, I can't tell you that. I'm not God. How does that all work out with reincarnation and all that? But the bottom line is, anybody going up is coming off that wheel. Anybody going up to source is coming off that natal chart wheel. That's called solar ascension. And that's what the sun did. He saved you. Anybody else is staying on that wheel. So that should answer some questions. But if you want me to explain all that, I can't. Because you have to know what happens to the soul, because the soul's got to go back to being a spirit when it goes up. But it's always going to be oneness. But if you want me to explain all that breakdown, I can't. I don't know all about how the spirit became a soul, how the soul split and all that. And what if one person was obedient and the other wasn't one, and it's the same soul? What happens? All I can tell you is, in that world, it's oneness. But I just know God ain't one to be mocked. And I've lived long enough to watch people, just like this guy. They get caught up with all the fake thinking. Then people like authority that they didn't have a problem with, now they got a problem with authority because now they don't want to listen. It's just like a little kid when they be getting mad at their parents. Like, well, oh, mommy, I love you, mommy, mommy, mommy. Oh, mommy, could I have some cookies? No, it's almost time for you to go to bed. Oh, I hate you. Yeah, you never let me have any cookie. So, like I said, I stay prayed up, pray for everybody, but we're not gonna play these stupid ass games. And I move the way I move for a reason. Gonna keep on moving the way I'm moving, and that's what's up. And I don't know. And I thank God for everything that's I've been blessed with spiritual maturity, holding yourself accountable, realizing that the Bible is the Word of God, and keeping it moving. And that's why when you see all these black people, like somebody like Sinetta will call them coons. Look at these coons talking about Jesus. Look at these coons. But it's not so much coons. It's what they know what's happening in their life. They know how their bills are being paid. They know how they were miracles of having people getting healed. They wouldn't be out there just dancing if it wasn't something that happened in their life. Just like a church I was in, this thug walked up in there because the church was in a thug neighborhood. But he knew that pastor could heal him. And I seen the pastor heal him. He came in limping and stuff. Then I seen him run around the church after she healed him. And then he said, after he ran around the church, he said, oh, it's coming back. Because that's some demons. The spirits make you think that. Like when you be having pains and shit, that's an attack. That's why this nigga stupid talking about, oh, you know, God, you talking about you be attacked? Nigga, I be getting healed all the time. That shit's real. It's funny, like you could be New Age and you'll believe in New Age healing, but then you don't think a pastor in the church can heal you. That's stupid. How can a New Age person heal you or taking herbs or some shit, but then a pastor in the church can't heal you? It's silly that, you know, that's why I'm getting these stupid ass conversations with niggas. Once I see somebody talking stupid, I gotta cut your ass off because it's silly. It's all that shit is spirit. And if you believe, you will receive. Just like they tell you positive affirmations. All that shit work. If you believe. But sometimes people a little bit of challenge, a little bit of test, and they tap out. Sometimes you gotta hang in there. So when the guy started to tell the pastor, oh, it's coming back, she said, don't focus on that. She said, you got healed. You just ran around this church. Focus on that. So it is healing. So like I said, so that's the situation. And best of the thing is he may grow up at some point. Like the burning, he may grow up. Now, what I gotta do as a man, like I can't be entertaining this no more. Because this dude, he been, no disrespect, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying he been a problem, like, ever since I knew him and shit. And, dude, I'm not getting no younger. I ain't got no time for this silly shit. And, like I keep trying to tell you, there are spirits. There are people that got bad spirits on them. And that's why I said, if you see somebody stalking you, like, all the time, that person demonized. Because who the fuck in their right mind gonna keep stalking? That's why I said, somebody might say, oh, who the fuck... like I'm trying to tell you, like my brother-in-law said, oh, you the common, all this stuff is happening to you because you're doing something wrong. You're the common denominator to everything that happens to you. But yet it ain't nobody that got no paperwork to say I ever did anything wrong. But I got tons of paperwork. Tons of paperwork. We found nothing wrong. We found he did nothing wrong. We found no. And this is how you know you're dealing with a righteous person, because he want that investigation. Because if a nigga wasn't righteous, he wouldn't be asking for no investigation. He gonna try to play a low pro and get the fuck up out of there. But that nigga that's demanding to be heard and demanding an investigation, he just sick of the bullshit. He's sick of being lied on, sick of the bullshit. Now, I'm not saying he can't fall, because everybody waiting for him to fall. Everybody fall. That's why I say I'm praying constantly. I be in the prayer. One thing y'all gotta understand about me, I stay prayed up. I stay prayed up that people don't want to pray. And I gotta stop fucking with them. I've been blocked by people. Because it cracked me up. The Bible say pray incessantly, like pray without ceasing and shit. But these people, because they still in the earthly mind, instead of them saying, wow, it's refreshing to see somebody praying a lot. They go, fuck it, this guy pray all the time. So once I realized they ain't gonna pray or they block me or whatever, I just had to say fuck them. And then just still fuck with those who do, because there's a lot of sites out here that tell you, they encourage you to keep coming back. They be like, pray as often as you feel you need to. See, that's a real spiritual person. That's a spiritual prayer site, because they're saying pray as often as you want to. Or at least a real spiritual prayer site's going to at least say, okay, you're going to say 2 prayers a day or 3 prayers a day. But they ain't going to block you. For what? The only person who will block you is some fucking demonized person. Or the type of person tries to control how you pray and all that. That's a demonized person. Because why would you do that? You show me in the Bible where it tells you to control how somebody prays. That's like blocking an offering from God. Prayers are still offerings to God. You don't have a right to tell a person how to pray and shit. Now, if you feel like your website only has enough room, so you say, well, you can only say 2 or 3 prayers a day, then that's different. But you can't block the prayer or delete the prayer. I was listening to one lady on the radio, and she said, when you send me a prayer and you don't put your name on it, if it just says anonymous, I throw that prayer right in the garbage. I said, well, then you a demon-ass person then. Why would you take somebody's prayer and throw it in the garbage? You show me some Bible scriptures where somebody said, Jesus, heal me. And he go, what is your name? I will not heal you if you do not tell me your name. If you do not tell me your name, I'm going to throw you in the garbage. Hey, it's just stupid ass shit. That's why I said you got to know the voice of God, and you got to know the voice of some bullshit. And that only comes through time, a walking with God. And when you see a situation is becoming more and more foolish and more crazy, it's time for that nigga, like I said, been saying leave. It's nothing personal, nigga. It's just that we ain't seeing each other. I still pray for people. I still want the best for people, but we can't be on the same page. And you ain't gonna be pulling me in arguments trying to get me all caught up in stupid shit. Shit you done seen for 3.5 years. Now you want to question it because you can't take correction. So now you want to try to find fault with me. But you've been following me like a groupie for years, even though I've been done told your ass to leave. That one and another one, same thing. So that's when you just become ghosts. You come out here and teach. You don't respond to no emails. And when you got a system with block, if you have to put them on. Now, I ain't going to put this gentleman on block because he got potential. But I ain't going to be fucking with him. I'm going to be doing my own business. Put that shit in. I got my own files and shit. When I see his shit, it's going in a certain file. And what he should do as a man, you rushing into a situation, get ready for it, nigga. Put both your feet down. Make it a goal that when it go and get tough, you ain't gonna run. That's what I'm saying, because that's a real thing. Or just be a player. See, if the nigga said this, if he said, fuck you, God, I'm a player. I love the ladies. I'm in my prime. And I'd be like, well, you know what the scriptures say? I know what the scriptures say at, but I'm in my prime. I had to respect that because he's not a liar. But this dude's a liar. That's why I can't respect that nigga. Because you're saying one thing, but you're doing another, and you think you're smarter than everybody. You think you can lie to these females and dope them up. And then you think you can lie to people like me, nigga. Nigga, I used to beat you to a certain degree. I was never a liar. But I used to meet somebody because I was just young and dumb. And I really believed like I was always going to come with mine. And I always assume this is where men make their mistake. You think because you going to be a good man that she going to be a good woman. But not necessarily. She's still going to be a drama queen, bro. That's just telling facts. That's a fact of life. People can boo you, hate you, but you're not lying. So I don't care. That's what I used to say when I was on TV and I'll be on the streets. It's not like I'm lying. So if they run up on me, they running up on me because they just don't want to hear what I got to say. But as long as I'm not lying, I don't give a fuck. So I could have got jumped. I could have got killed. But I was still out there. Ain't nobody put no hands on me. And I said some real shit. Some of the people I would be with them niggas. And I said, y'all niggas, I said, man, you a grown-ass man. I said, how you gonna ask a little girl to give you some money? And the dude I said it about, this dude was a brawler. He was known for knocking niggas out. But when he met me, he tried that intimidation shit. And I'm like, nigga, you can't intimidate me. It was, the way I shut him down was funny. Because he ran up on me. And he tried to intimidate me. And I looked at his jacket. I said, McCloud and shit. Because there used to be a TV show with this country detective and shit that had on a jacket like that. And his name was McCloud and shit. So when I did that shit, that nigga fell back. Now this was a real street nigga knocking niggas out. I made that nigga feel real insecure and shit. He was like, man, my jacket alright. Ain't nothing wrong with my jacket. He was insecure. He went from getting ready like try to fight me to being real insecure and shit. But that's my way of telling you, nigga, I'm not scared of you with that fucked up jacket on and shit. Who the fuck you trying to run up on? You a gangster and shit? But then come to find out, talking to this nigga, he was my cousin. Me and this nigga was related and shit. So one time I did a TV show because I see him begging some little, like a little girl for some money. I said, man, you a grown ass man. I said, you gotta find a job and shit. And they was mad. They said, they're like, yo man, if you wasn't failing, we would fuck you up. Cause I would still come through. They was like, man, if you wasn't failing, we would fuck you up. And they was like, man, how could you say shit like that? So I always did. I've been that way, nigga. This is nothing new. And I used to always come through and bless them niggas and shit. I like leave money and shit. So we not with the punk shit, never will be. Let's get this clear and straight. So that's how we gonna roll. I just gave y'all reality. I gave y'all spiritual maturity. Since this guy wanted to talk about attacks, I told you what attacks was. He got to learn how to man up. It's my hope and prayer that this time with this female, he won't just tap out. He won't just run when the going get tough, like he always did before. As far as me and him, nigga, we don't agree. We not on the same page. You move on. That's called life. It don't have to be ugly. You know what I'm saying? Me and some other dudes, me and Donnell had differences. We talk when we talk and then we don't talk. Ain't nobody mad at nobody. That's what a man do. A man move on. All this hanging out and being like a bitch. It's too much feminine, nigga. You got to get that feminine out your system, man, because it's too much feminine in your ass. You got to man up. And I had to learn too, because I ain't had no man raising me back in the day. My father died when I was young. So I had to man up in a lot of ways. Get that bitch out you and shit. Nothing wrong with it. Just do it. Ain't got to be offended. Ain't got to try to attack the person trying to help you. Just do it. That's all. Peace out to everybody that has been down with the team or anybody that's in the inner circle that ain't been an a-hole. Peace out. And if you've been an a-hole, I'm still going to pray for you. But we can't be on the same page. As far as anybody else, you see what I do out here. 100% real. Take advantage of it while you can, because it's not always going to be out here. And that's it. As far as anybody else, I don't have no problems. I don't have nobody saying nothing with me about, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody out there talking shit about me that I know about. And if they are, it's on some sneak shit that I don't know about. See, if you really got an issue with somebody, you should talk to that person. And the fact that you can't talk to that person, that make you suspect to me. Because if you really had an issue, if I had an issue with somebody, I'm going to go to that person. I'm not going to go behind their back. See, that's a sneaky nigga. Some people just looking for attention. So they go behind your back. You don't even know this shit going on. And this dude has done that before, talk behind my back. So that's that sneaky shit. So I don't really have nobody calling me out that I know of. And if I did, I'd address it. But I'm going to try to address it like a mature adult. But then I'm going to let it go. It's not going to be back and forth, back and forth. Because some people are just trying to bait you and pull you back into this third dimensional bullshit. So the reality is this. Since we're talking about reality. If you break in the commandments of God, you're going to reap what you sow. That's the reality. The reality is this. If you really trying to if you trying to be successful in this world, depending on how successful you come, you eventually going to meet some people. They're going to tell you, oh, in order for you to go further, you're going to have to sell your soul and probably have some type of sacrifice. That's just a fact. And almost anybody in this world, because the Bible tells you the world is owned by Satan, and Satan going to let you know I'm the boss. And in order to go further in my world, this is what you got to do. You're going to compromise your morals. You're going to sacrifice something, sacrifice somebody, all kind of crazy shit. And these guys out here be telling you what's up. RFG Chosen One be telling you what's up. Feral Allah be telling you what's up. But maybe y'all don't listen. I don't know. So that's why I said you can't 1 minute be talking about these brothers out your mouth and then the next minute go in a totally different way. So either you're going to listen to what's real or you're going to stay in the matrix. But if you stay in the matrix, there's going to be a price to pay at the end. So my goal is to help people get out the matrix and also help people realize there is a spirit that really helps. Not just a new age spirit, not just Archangel card spirit. There is a spirit. Spirit over the Bible, spirit. And you should get to know that spirit because that person can be known. I know the person personally. It is what it is. If you don't believe this because you're not willing to put the time and effort in to get to know spirit. Spirit does have a name. Spirit has a personality. So it's up to you to get to know. And when the more you get to know spirit and become one with spirit, the less chance you're going to have of lying to somebody or betraying somebody who is faithful to you or telling somebody, okay, I want to be with you. And then the moment you see something you don't like, tapping out and betraying a person. That ain't no spirit. That's somebody that was faking it. And now when the test came, you seen their true nature. So I think I did a great job on explaining everything. And now I'm going to continue to move on won't be doing no more. And as far as this gentleman, if he heard this, like, I ain't responding on nothing. Not even if your shit was apologizing. You need to go, bro. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Brother Donnell, he do his thing. Me and Donnell went back and forth for a bit. But we still talking. He do his thing. You got to learn how to do your thing. It's another brother I work with named Adam. Adam do his thing. I don't have no issues with Adam. So do your thing as a man, and then everything be good. But you right now, I'm not trying to be funny, but you being like a dick rider. You can't be a dick rider. I can't be you. You can't be me. We on two different journeys. We don't need to talk to everybody every day. Go on with your life. Check in every now and then, and we be good. But all that other shit, it got to come to an end, because first off, I don't got time for it. Second off, I'm not getting no younger. And third off, you just need to develop whatever your reality is. Like you keep saying reality, you got to develop whatever your reality is. And I don't need to be there. So I don't know what the connection is, but you gotta get past that. You gotta be a man and take, like, I would never contact you for a decision I'm gonna make. I'm a freaking man. I don't let nobody makes my fucking decisions. I'm a fucking man. I don't care who it is. I take responsibility, and ain't nobody making. And I try to make my decisions based on what I know to be true from the Bible. That's how I get down. And ain't nobody coming in between. I don't care who it is. So you got to get that. That's what a man does. He ain't calling up another person talking about, what you think or no. Dude, grow up and be a fucking man. That's what's up.